So if we wanted to express a wish or a desire, something that is hypothetical, right? Hypothetical, that's something that isn't real. It's a made-up situation, something that doesn't actually exist now. You're thinking of a made-up situation in your head. When you think of a wish, which is a type of hypothetical, but you want something that isn't reality right now, right? So, if only I was learning English faster, right? That is what we're going to learn today. Now, if you would like to write this down, you can. This is known as the subjunctive verb, okay? Subjunctive. Most people aren't going to really know what this word means in English, even regular native English speakers, but that is what we're talking about. Academically, people will recognize this. Or you might hear it in official speech, in formal speaking, you usually hear this as well. The normal ways to identify it, there's two indicators, right? So we know forms of to be already. Can anyone offer some examples? To be. So go ahead. I
would like to be happy.
Forms of to be. So I am. Okay.
You are.
You are. Right? He, she, it.
We are.
Is. He, she, it. And then we have, if you're talking about the past tense, right? He, she, I was, right? Okay, so we don't use these for the subjunctive, okay? But that is normal. We already know these things, right? But we would still use be or were. So that's one way to identify the subjunctive. Also, in the third person singular, right? That's the third person. You're not talking about I, you're not talking about you. Third person is you're talking to someone about someone else, right? So I'm talking to you, I say he, I could say she, I could say it, right? So the third person singular present tense, right? We don't use the S, right? I'll use that as an example. I could say something like, the teacher suggested that he face him when he's talking to him, right? Normally you would say faces, right? But that he face, that he face. So that is another indicator. Do you have a question?
Yes. I don't understand the face.
Right. Okay, so let's back up. So I'm going to use some examples, and this is just how we identify it. So if you're going to do, so we'll go back to hypothetical or a wish. Also, it's a suggestion or a demand. Okay? So let's back up. Let's forget about that for a moment. Suggestion or demand is what I was just using an example of. But let's just say we're expressing a wish, a want. You know, what's one thing you would like to do?
I would like to learn to speak English better.
Okay, I would like to. Okay, so that would, it's not always used that way, but that's one subjunctive verb identifier, right? So would like to, okay? You're not saying that you're doing that now. It's a goal of yours, right? So I would like to speak. So you're already using the subjunctive. I would like to speak, English better. Okay? So that would like. I would be better at English if I practice more. Different ending of the sentence. There's a few formulas that you can use. Like in math, formulas, A plus B equals C. All right, so we're going to go over, we can do one way to express it, if only. Right? If only I could speak English better. That's a subjunctive sentence. That's using the subjunctive verb. If only I were 10 years younger. Right? If only I could dance, I would take her out on a date, right? What are some other things that you would want to do, but because something doesn't exist, you're not doing it now, but you would like to? Using this, if only something, I would something else.
Could you give an example, please?
Yes, if only I were 10 years younger, I would be in better shape. If only I exercised more, I would be more energetic. If only I spoke English, I could speak to that person. Something you would like to do that you can't do now. Go ahead, try.
If only I speak English better, I would get better job.
Yes, exactly. If only I could speak English better, I would get better job. Okay, so let's write that out. If only, now we said would, but we have could, should sometimes, but these all have different uses, right? But this is a way you can express something that doesn't exist now. You're talking about a hypothetical situation. So if only I could speak English better, comma, I would have a better job. So one of these days you will speak English better. It doesn't exist now, but that's the goal, so that you have this wish, this desire, a better job, right?